All right, we're back. We're back. It's been a few weeks. Firstly, tell you straight away so you don't go anywhere, we are about to react to some of the funniest fucking photos you've ever seen, especially if you've been following us for a while. You know, you see Alicia and I here looking like best we can, you know, the glow up. You're about to see some fucking funny shit from when Alicia was younger doing her first modeling thing, and I never really did any modeling, but I did some cringy photo shoots, and then photos of us when we're young, and then photos of our travel and adventure. And just trust me, you're going to want to watch this episode. It's going to be a banger. What else updates? You're doing the Hot Girl Summer Challenge at the moment.
Hot Girl Summer Challenge, getting ready for summer coming up, even though it's really hot right now.
Yeah, the last few days of winter here in Australia. We're up in Queensland and it's 27, 28 degrees right now at 10:30 a.m. Like, it's going to be 30 on the weekend, which is crazy. Like, you complain about, you know, people in Queensland here are like, oh, it's so cold in winter, where it's not even cold. And then as soon as it gets hot, we're like, oh, it's so humid.
Yeah. And then your ear.
I haven't even spoke about that on the Instagram, but I'll give it it's really embarrassing. I haven't even spoke about it because I don't even know how to explain it, but this is a longer format. I was using one of those Q-tip things to clean my ear. It was about 5:45 in the morning. I'm half asleep, just being an idiot as usual. And I was trying to clear my ear because when I go surfing, I get like the ears kind of get stuck. And I put the Q-tip in the other side, and then I went to move to my left hand to clean, and I bumped it through my eardrum and blew the back of my eardrum out with the Q-tip, and it was bleeding, and it went like halfway into where my skull is. It was crazy. I freaked out. Looked at the mirror and I was like, this is not good. And I heard this big poof, pulled it out, bleeding. Then I started going into like a bit of a fucking shock, where I was like, oh, that didn't really hurt that much. And then I had this weird warm feeling in my stomach, and I'm like, oh, okay, my body's in like trauma. So basically, I perforated my eardrum. No surfing, no swimming, no sauna, and we just got the fucking
Just got the sauna.
$20,000 sauna set up.
Ice bath.
Ice bath, can't put my head underneath the ice bath, but I've just been doing it with my head above the ice bath. Can't believe I can't even have a shower. So I've got these ear condoms off Amazon, where you put this little fucking Franger condom over your ear, and then I also have this putty stuff that you put in your ear so I can still wash my hair and stuff. But surfing was kind of a thing I did for my mental health, and it was like socializing with friends and just getting away, letting Alicia just chill in the house. And not having surfing has been really hard, but what I have been able to do, it's only been a week, but I've been able to go harder in the gym because I don't have to leave anything left in the tank for surfing. Because I don't know if there's anyone surf, but it's taxing on the body. You can't be like an elite level like gym addict and be really good at surfing. Well, some people could, but for me, like, it's very taxing. But anyway, it's fine. I can hear. I'm not in much pain. Got to get surgery, which is so weird. It's the angle that it was perforated. The specialist said that it's 90% surgery, and there's a massive weight on surgeons, but it's all good. The show can go on. I can still do reaction videos. I can still write programs. I can still work. I can still go to the gym, which is thank fuck.
Yeah.
And, you know, Alicia was just like, how the fuck do you keep injuring and hurting yourself all the time?
Honestly, I'm not even surprised.
Every 6 months, I'm just due for a fucking doozy, like an injury. Like, as you'll see when we go these photos, I snapped my bicep, fucking busted my nose open surfing, fucking what else have I done?
Ankle.
Anyway.
Bike accident.
But other than that, I'm just fucking excited to get into these photos because I actually Alicia picked out some real cringy ones of me doing like underwear, like, I don't know, like more trying to be a fitness model when I was younger. Hilarious. I thought I looked amazing back in the day, but it's cringe as. And I picked out some funny ones of Alicia. What else have you been up to? People might think that people might think you're always just dialed in with your nutrition and training, but it's not true. But you're finally motivated. I seen you train with proper intensity for the first time in like 2 years.
Yeah, I think summer's coming up, and best time to start is now, before summer, because every time I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then it gets to summer and I'm like, oh shit, I've left it too long.
Yeah,
and
Alicia's
I don't want to get in a bikini.
Yeah, Alicia's someone you might think she looks amazing, and I absolutely agree, and I tell her that every day, and I'm fucking grabbing her in the house all the time like a weirdo. Like, I'm just obsessed. I'm an obsessed husband, an obsessed boyfriend. But Alicia doesn't have that confidence in herself, and she's really struggled with self-love and self-confidence her whole life basically. And we're not going to get into the story of like trauma and ex-boyfriends or like how you grow up, but basically she just struggles to see herself in the mirror in a bikini or naked or just like wearing nice clothes and say, I actually feel sexy or attractive, or I deserve to be like this. So a lot of times she wants things really quickly too. She's very impatient.
Yeah.
You know, she loves buying things and knowing they're going to come straight away. Amazon Prime, best customer. And, you know, short-term satisfaction is a big driver, and we can all relate to that. But over the last few years, still looking absolutely amazing, but not being up to the standard where she wants to be, or knowing that her potential is much higher. She's got to a certain point where she started doing it and it was maybe too strict, or she didn't enjoy it.
Sabotage.
And you would go into self-sabotage, which we had a really big conversation about. But honestly, like, where are you at right now? Because I'm so fucking proud of you, and I'm really surprised actually. Because I've always told you you have world-class genetics, but you just lack consistency and hard work over long term, because she loves food, she loves chocolate, and she loves not being under like a really tight structure. Like, you feel a little bit uncomfortable if you have to do 5 days a week in the gym, an hour and a half sessions, eating like chicken and broccoli and stuff. Like, that was never you. We've spoke about you doing fitness comps when you're younger, or people would say, oh, you should do a bikini comp or whatever, and you're always like, no way. Like, it just sounds like a eating disorder or some type of mental health issue about to happen. So where are you now? Like, how come you're in such a good place?
I think just this year I said to myself, I don't want to not feel good in a bikini and worry and not go to the beach and not feel my best self. So I think that's what's changed, and been like, this year I just don't want to give a fuck about anything and not care what other people think, and just feel good within myself. So this time around I've been tracking my calories, being in a slight deficit, I think, like maintenance maybe.
No, you're in a deficit after you, like, when you add in, we're basically working on, sorry to butt in, but just a quick explanation. We're working on around maintenance. The goal is not to lose a heap of weight on the scales. The goal is to keep increasing muscle and building strength. So you have like that upper glutes, the big glutes, the strong legs, the strong upper body. Work on your posture and your long-term health, longevity. But by using walking the dog and working out to get you just into a slight deficit, so you're building muscle and losing fat at the same time. And people keep saying it's impossible, but we do it with our clients all the time. I do it all the time. You have a really good response to that, because you're not someone who goes into a deficit very often, and you're not someone who's super consistent with hard training. So now that you're training with intensity and you're training consistently, that 3 to 4 days a week, walking the dog every morning and afternoon, because we don't have a choice, because Honey, our puppy, is just like scratching at 4 p.m, like 7:30 in the morning or 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. She's just scratching us. If we're working on the laptop or the phone, she doesn't say no, doesn't take no for an answer.
No, doesn't like us being on our phone. She'll push it out of the way, and she'll like come sit on your lap and be like, it's time.
Sometimes I'll be right at the end of doing a really important post, like client transformations or something good for you, and I'll be on the computer on the desk, and she'll crawl up onto me, and she'll be looking at me, and I'm like, quick, get the post up. And it's like, I don't know, I suppose you can compare it to, like, we have no idea, I don't have a kid, I'm not saying I compare it to be a parent, but I suppose you can compare it to, like, if a kid wants your attention, but you work from home, or you're trying to get something done that's really important, and you get angry, and you're like, why am I getting angry? They have no idea what's going on. Like, you
they
need
don't
to
see the screens and all of that.
Yeah, so you need to get it done before they want to go outside and go for a walk. But I'm just proud of you, and let's see how we go.
Yeah, and just implementing like 5 minutes of cardio. That's it.
All the steps.
Yeah.
You're doing steps in the morning and the afternoon, like walking the dog.
Oh yeah, but
then you're actually getting on the Stairmaster and getting those steps. And as you know, if you're one of our clients, that is just the icing on the cake when it comes to just, I hate the word toning, but people understand what toning means. Like, just getting that conditioning into your physique, getting the legs like tight and upper body more, you know, everything tighter. And it's not just because of the Stairmaster, but it's a combination of the right calories, the right meal plan, the right sleep, the right intensity in your workouts, the right exercises. And it's a combination. It sounds really technical, but it's a combination, and it's not that hard.
Yeah.
45-minute workouts, 3 to 4 times a week. But I just really stoked about it, and hopefully by next podcast we can be on the same positive note, because she's listening to gangster rap. She's getting crazy rapping on the way to the gym. I know she's in a good place, and I'm really excited because she's motivating me as well. And I've kicked her ass in a few of these sessions where I've said, this is how you're meant to train. She thought she was training heavy enough with enough intensity. And then I taught her about tempo and getting close to 2 reps in reserve. And then she's like, holy fuck, this is hard.
Yeah.
When I came in the gym the other day and you had like the top lip sweat. Yeah. And I'm like, that's when you know you're training hard. I loved it. Okay. Screen recording so we don't miss it. Make it easier for our editor, Sam. Otherwise he's going to go through a lot of photos. All right, I've just had a screen recording. Let's go to the first one. All right.
So I think we were like 18.
Look at my face.
There.
Look, you got the stilettos on. I got the old Jordans on.
Be our local. Having a drink.
The old Royal in Gympie.
Yep. Yep.
What do you got in your hand there? A little cocktail?
Oh,
no.
It would have been my tequila sunrise or my vodka sunrise. That was my go-to drink.
I had like this wannabe kind of Ed Hardy shirt on.
Yeah. And those were the jeans with the hole in the crotch, right? That you loved, and you taped them up.
I got mum to stitch them from the inside. I love it how it says all these patrons, the right to refuse if you're too drunk. My face, I'm like biting my lip. I got no beard.
He's got the Riz face.
The Riz face. Grab that little...
Which the TikTokers are doing these days.
Grabbing the little cheek. Oh, that's funny. All right, next one. Oh, God. This was the first... You talked me in... So this photo here, Alicia talked me into... Because Alicia used to do a little bit of modelling when she was like really young, like 16, 17.
Yeah.
Maybe even 18. And we just got together here, and we've been together for maybe a few months, and you had a photo shoot booked in. It was in this dark studio in this this back of this barn or something, and you're like, you should come along. And that was the better of. There's other photos further down in this list and I look like full creep, like I don't know how to explain it, but that was the better of them. But you've got the puffer jacket on, and I got the suit.
It was a burlesque theme, and I was like, oh, I want to do a couples photo.
Look at my face, no
love
beard.
it. I don't know what it is about this photo. I really do like it.
That's one of the better ones.
I just think it looks sexy.
I don't know about that. All right, let's go to the next one. I love this.
So we were 19 there.
Yeah, you reckon? I was 18.
Sorry, I was 19.
No, I don't think you were 19.
I'm sure I was.
No, you just turned. You were still 18 then.
I think that was Mum's birthday.
Oh, really?
We went to that Great Eastern Hotel or something.
But I'm trying to wear like the
We look
suit.
like we're going to the formal.
It looks like a pre-formal photo, yeah. But you look good there. I had the long ziz hair.
And the emo fringe on the side.
I love it.
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
We would get ready together to go out, have a few drinks before we get photos. I actually really like this photo of you because you look real sassy.
Hand on the hip.
Yeah.
Typical.
Got my first tattoo. So people don't realize this, but I used to have a tribal tattoo like underneath this. That's why it looks a bit fucking weird like here. We did like a cover up on it. And as you do when you're younger, you turn 18, like all the way through year 12 in high school, being 17, I'm Googling like the tattoos that I want to get. And I was obsessed with I seen like fit guys with tribal. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have a tribal. I'm going to be like the coolest guy. I don't know what tribal that I'm a part of, but I also got some ancient kanji, like ancient like Japanese, Chinese, whatever it is. And there's a fair bit of meaning in that. Mum and I planned that out, but the tribal was just like slap it on. Luckily I got it covered up. But yeah, that was like, I was doing a bit of Muay Thai and boxing then. I thought I was pretty hard.
I love the stud in the ear.
A little single stud. I still have a hole in this ear. I had it stretched once.
And I love the long hair too.
Alicia just wants me to have like full long
Bieber.
hair. I can't do it. I can't have hair on my forehead. Oh shit. This is like,
This is the low calorie face.
Yeah,
Like,
this is...
give me some food.
On the way to that photo shoot, I was in a taxi. This was in Miami or LA, I can't remember. And on the way, no, it was LA. On the way to that photo shoot, it was the day before I stepped on stage for WBFF American Championships or whatever. And I was taking a diuretic, which a diuretic is what bodybuilders and fitness models and stuff take to to get the last bit of like water where it doesn't remove fat, but it makes you look even leaner because it pulls the water and separation out.
Dehydrates you, basically.
Yeah, it dehydrates you. And I had a reaction, like allergic reaction to it. I hadn't slept. I had jet lag. I hadn't slept for ages because flying from Australia to LA, that's the worst direction to fly, they say. And I was jet lagged on the way to this photo shoot in the taxi. Had to pull over, power spewed, sick as. Got to this place where the photographer had an apartment. Had to find the toilet to like clean myself up, put water on my face. Then I went up there and just shot some of my best photos. Like it's cringe, but it was like a underwear modeling bodybuild. That's what people were doing, and that's how I grew my first Instagram account. It was like modeling photos, and I'd collab with other guys and whatnot. And it's cringe looking at it now, but that's what people were doing back then, and I suppose people were still doing it now. So I can never judge anyone who's doing these like cringy model photos because I went through that. I was like 24 or something here. I actually had makeup on because my eyes were so black from vomiting and not being able to sleep for like 4 days beforehand, but pulled it all together. Oh, I hate this fucking photo.
I love this photo.
Alicia looks amazing here, but there's just something about this photo where I'm like, I look pale. Again, I shaved my face and I don't even know what this photo was for. What is this photo for?
This was family photo with your mum.
Oh, okay.
And her.
Yeah, you look amazing there. I look like a fucking, like, what is it, Lip from Shameless or whatever. It's hilarious. I do like that photo.
I like it.
You would post it a lot and I was like, oh, I fucking hate it. But I sound like one of those young girls that are like, don't put this photo up of me. I was just like, oh, I just look weird.
Yep. I remember this photo. We went down and had food at that amazing.
Yeah, I ate a lot of food there.
One with the swans and everything.
The buffet at the Gold Coast, yeah.
What was it, George's Paragon or something like that?
Yeah.
Anyway, we were like I was 18 at the time. You would have been 19.
This is the funny thing about this photo, and people will get really surprised about this, and it's whenever someone comments on stuff that doesn't know us, thinking that Alicia's like smooching or what's the word for it, like thinks that Alicia's with me because I'm like rich or successful, when so stupid. It's only random people that say that. But the funny thing about this is, in this photo, I was that broke and poor that Alicia paid for my trip and paid for me to go to like breakfast and dinner. Like she shadowed me the whole trip. So actually it's the opposite. Like I remember when Alicia and I first met, I wasn't even working a job. I was a fucking absolute like just going out drinking, doing drugs and shit. I was not a good person, but I liked Alicia a lot and she would chat me to go to the movies and we'd go places. So I suppose I'm just forever I'm happy to support her because of that. Like she didn't care that I had nothing. I had no rich family, none of that. So I really like this because of what we did and the experience I had, because I never gone to places like that. I was fucking born in a country town and I barely ever left. Like it was insane.
I loved seeing you at the buffet. I think that was my favorite. And you're like, oh, I'm going to go back for seconds. Yeah, and then you're like, I'm going to loosen the belt. And I was like, you do what you need to do.
I used to eat a lot of food because I was like a poor kid growing up. So whenever you get to, it was a fancy place, like the buffet of all the food you could ever think of. Like
seafood.
They don't make good food like that anymore either. Like no. It was fucking insane.
Our first cruise.
That was when I put on, this is when I was on a cruise, we were on the cruise together. Yeah. And I put on like 10 kilos in I put on 7 kilos in 7 days.
Yeah.
For me, that's a fast weight gain.
Yeah. Lots of food, buffets.
Was this right after I did a fitness competition?
Yes.
I did a bodybuilding competition. I was like shredded and I was like, low calories, like full borderline eating disorder where you got to like, every bodybuilding is basically like an eating disorder. You like put your calories lower than it should be. So this is the first kind of trip we went on together, like first young adult trip. And I spent the whole time just eating food at the buffets. And my face filled out so much because I have quite a hollow face.
You would bring it home.
I'd bring it to the room
in the bed, eating his chocolate cake. When his chocolate stains all over the fucking bed.
It was a good time. I'd just be sitting beside the pool, just putting more food in and drinking and shit. That's what I liked about doing bodybuilding though. You would get shredded, you get all your photos and you do all that and then you would just fuck shit up after. You'd have cheesecake and pasta and all this stuff. It was good.
So good.
You didn't eat anything much because you get seasick from the boat.
Oh, I know. I had to
you lost weight.
Yeah, I had to wear C-bands. It was unfortunate. God. We were in the, remember we were having dinner and the plates are going.
It's better than the videos you see online of when cruises go through storms in the open ocean. Fuck.
Yeah,
We decided, there's another one from a cruise. I love it, doing our little modeling fucking. It was actually fun. We would dress up to the nines and go to these fancy dinners. Like cruises are cool,
Yeah.
but I think we decided after we did 2 cruises.
One.
Oh, just
done
one.
A few,
I felt like I was on there for 2 trips. We realised after the whole trip that we decided to go to Bali and Thailand after that, just because I get a bit like restless.
Yeah.
On a cruise, I'm like, hey, it's just a fucking boat. How many comedy shows and food? How much food can I eat? Oh, the old fucking.
That looks like the same day.
Yeah, same day.
As
yeah.
the other one?
Yeah, same
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, that was actually like a famous photographer, and I was just whatever he says, you do. You know what I mean?
You just pull it together.
To a certain extent, but people wouldn't realize they're like some of my favorite photos back in the day. But people don't realize how what I was taking, diuretics, all this shit, that I vomited beforehand. I got makeup on my face, which is hilarious. It's the first time I've ever worn makeup in here. And he was like, yeah, you just got to fix up your dark circles, because they didn't really edit photos back then. Like none of that's actually post-edited. It was just getting a good image on the camera, but it's cringy. Like, how do you feel looking at that from when I was younger?
I think you look good.
Yeah, of course I look good, but it's like the pants undone and shit.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like, that's wallpaper worthy.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's cool to have them.
At the time, I was like, this is what you got to do.
Yeah. Oh, this cracks me up.
This is hilarious. They're actually banned now.
Yeah.
So
This
what
was
are they?
in Bali. It's called the flying fish.
That's it.
And basically, it's this thing. How would you even describe that?
Well, they can
thing?
see the photo on the screen. So basically, it starts, if anyone's done a flying fish before they were banned, they're banned worldwide now because people died on them, which is crazy. We didn't know at the time.
They would flip.
Alicia thought it was the most amazing thing ever. You start just on the water and there's a boat with a cord attached to that. And when you get up enough speed, the guy who's in the middle, it's actually, we're laying down, if you can see there, look
like
at my
this.
face and your face. We're laying down because that's how to stay safe. And this local Bali guy who's got no basic knowledge of, like, he's probably got no certification. He pulls on the rope and it makes this thing fly because it's full of fucking air. And you fly crazy high in the air. And I looked up some stuff like a year later when I found out that people have died on them and shit. And I'm like, we had no idea. But Alicia loves all that water sports shit. She
I
froths
loved
that.
it, eh? I thought it was so much fun.
All right. Oh, here we go. I found Alicia has an old hard drive where she has like all of her images from her old laptop,
Yeah.
old phones, back in the day when you would actually get photos and then put them on your laptop into a folder. And this cracked me up because this is before we met.
Yeah. I think I would have been like 15.
You got your hair was brown
14,
then.
15.
And
Yep.
you got the blonde. So it's like the emo kind of phase.
Yep. So I would actually get my own blonde dye from the like chemist and do my fringe. So I'd separate it and I'd have the blonde underneath and like my brown on top. So it had this like skunk look to it. And then I bought this piece.
The pout.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
bought this piece from Hair House Warehouse, this blonde piece, and I'd like clip it in. And I'd have my emo fringe.
And you got the thin brows.
Thin brows.
Now everyone's got
I'm
the
even
thick.
trying to wear like a cross necklace.
Yeah, so did I in heaps of these photos.
I'm like,
I love
not
it.
religious.
That's just so that was like the era of like MSN.
Yep.
Listening to music in your room, telling your parents you hate them.
Yep.
Like that's exactly what you were doing.
Yep.
eh?
Hot pink walls, like, yeah.
All right, I love this photo. This is one of my favorite photos of you because obviously this dress looks banging on you. But I've got my trying to be suave red kind of pants with it, and you liked when I used to wear the V-necks.
Love the V-neck.
Back when the V-necks, guys would wear like the low V-necks, like look at this chest muscles.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm just going back to the V-neck by doing this.
Yeah, the U-neck.
Yeah. But
I remember that morning because I was working at my lash job and I got this beautiful surprise that came in at the salon and it was it 9 or 12 long stem roses?
oh yeah.
And it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful because you don't normally do that.
Yeah, so there'd be years beforehand where I'm not really a big like gift giver.
No.
I'm like
real quality time.
I'm like quality time and like taking you overseas and shouting
Yeah.
you and like
experiences.
I always said, just trust me, like I'm gonna save up and I'm gonna build us a house and I'm gonna make sure that we're like in a good position, that we're well off, which I was just saying that, I was hoping it was. But I also just didn't really think of the little things. But then I learned through obviously becoming an adult man and just over time that like, you know, even spending a little bit of money for Valentine's Day is like such a nice thing. So I balled out on that. It was pretty expensive, the long stem roses and shit.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Got them delivered to your work. You were a bit
really nice.
nervous and shit about it.
Yeah, no, it was really sweet.
Here we go.
Here we go. The blue eyeshadow.
I love it. Those
don't
thin,
even know what
do you
to
call them,
say.
the sperm brows?
Yeah.
The thin
Sperm
brow.
brows.
The reason why I picked this photo is I think a lot of people who follow us think that you always had like a big bum or that you've always been curvy, but you weren't really.
No.
Like that's you arching as best you can.
Yep.
And you just got a tiny little bum.
Roxy brand.
Back when Roxy was killing it, which is
Yeah.
the female version of Quicksilver or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yep.
The eyeshadow and the lips.
Everything.
That's people don't realize you've always had lips like that. You've always
Yep.
had like pretty big lips, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Oh, I love this.
Love this photo.
One of our first trips to Bali.
Yep. Bali waterfall.
Did we have Thailand?
We did Thailand first.
We had Bali booked originally
Yep.
the first time. Then there was a volcano.
Yep.
Kind of tried to ruin our trip. So we just the flight people were like, you can just go to Thailand instead, and we just
For
paid the
free.
extra.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was not much extra. It might have just been free. So
Yeah.
we did Thailand first, which was really fun, which was epic, but a bit of a longer flight. And then we really wanted to do Bali because obviously back then Bali was like epic.
And
Now
I
it's a bit.
remember
Yeah.
I remember the Thailand flight that we had to take. The only option
Oh
was,
my god, yes.
I think it was Brisbane to Melbourne,
Melbourne
to
to
Perth,
Perth
to Phuket.
To Phuket.
So it was a very long flight.
Yeah, they're like, well, oh, that's it. We'll upgrade you for free.
Yeah.
But you got to go Where's Wally style, fucking ching dong up here and shit.
And it was like going back 2 hours, going in front 2 hours, same time.
But you were so
4
much
hours.
you were so much more resilient back then.
Yeah.
Like you would get there and
I
you'd
had
actually have a good
patience.
time.
I was excited.
And now, like, I ask her to go to Fiji next year, and she's like, I don't know, I'll think about it. I don't want to go to a five-star
Oh,
resort.
I got my baby now.
We've got our little baby, honey.
Yeah.
This wasn't that long ago. It was only a few years ago. We were in
Thailand.
Koh Samui, that is,
Yep.
at that place that they found out that we had a social media while we were there because we were taking photos, and we were having breakfast randomly, and a guy just walked up and said hello, and I was like, he didn't look like anyone who worked there. He was wearing like different clothes. And then he started chatting to us like he knew us, and then he pulled a chair out and sat down, and I was real standoffish with him. I'm like, who the fuck's this guy? And then he goes, I just wanted to let you know I'd welcome you to our place, and thanks for taking us in your photo. We'd like to offer you to do a photo shoot and a video shoot with us. So they brought in this professional guy with the drone,
It's cool.
and we went out on a jet ski and got drone footage, and then they gave us like massages and stuff.
Yeah, that was fun.
The influencer privileges.
Yeah.
That was a sick pool. I wish we had the other side of that photo because it's like this crazy lookout over Koh Samui.
Full infinity pool and just beautiful.
And just like a year and a half ago, we went back to that same place.
Yes.
It was a cool adventure. Oh, that's the day you talk about how like how that venture went.
That was insane. I'll never forget. Like, I was so dark too. Like, I was so obsessed with getting like really tan to the point where I was getting massages in Thailand and they were like, you're really dark. Like, you're darker than
Tanorexia.
Yeah, like you're darker than us. And I was like, oh really? Didn't notice. But we went horse riding that day.
Yeah, and the horses weren't like the most strongest looked after horses. So you were like, oh, I don't really want to ride them anymore. Because people probably don't know this. Alicia used to be like a show horse rider. She did jumps, show, dressage. I don't even know what the fuck it's called.
Yeah, hacking,
And
jumping.
Grew up on the Gold Coast, and your parents sold the house at the Gold Coast to buy a farm so then you could have a horse to compete. And then you turned into the terrible teens and was like, I want MSN, fuck you and fuck your horse.
Yeah, I was spoiled.
But when you're young, like with teenage girls, you cannot tell them, and same with teenage boys, even worse. You cannot tell them different.
No.
And I'm so scared of having a teenage girl because
Those
imagine
hormones
what
come in and
people are going to be doing on social media, and I don't know, we won't go there, but it scares me. But the funny thing about this is I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. I'm sure you've realised this now. and a bit of ADD. And whenever I can be driving something, I want to drift it all the time. Not a car on the road, obviously, but this was safe. We're in this crazy quad. It's got a roll bar. We've got proper seat belts on, and the trucks were insane. And there was like other tourists with us, and they kept going slow. And I was like, move out of the fucking way. Let me go up the front.
Every time we do stuff like this, you always break the rules, and they always go, no, you cannot do that. You cannot do that.
Every time I go to go-kart tracks, I get kicked off.
Yeah, all the time.
I just want to go faster and go sideways. Like, why not? Like, I love this.
I loved this shirt.
How old
and
are you
I was
here?
chatting to you and your mum about it the other day. And
That's why I found it.
I had this shirt on that was from Supre. So I'd go into Supre, get like the extra smalls with my hot pink bag.
Supre made a bit of money back in the day. Eh?
Yeah. And it had the 2 handprints on the boobs.
If you're watching this and you shopped at Supre, I'm sure any 90s babies spent some money. But you could get like 10 outfits for like $50 back then or something.
Oh yeah, it was like so. I don't know. It was
comment
the place,
below if you went to Supre.
It was the place to be. Anyway, so in the background, I got my hot pink wall with all my like posters of all the, I don't know, like.
Girls are doing that now again. So you know how we've got iPhones and shit that now.
Yeah.
They're buying old cameras, Polaroids, getting party photos and putting them on their wall again. Like we're back to there again.
I don't even know what I'm doing. Just.
You're getting that's on your webcam or something.
Yeah.
For a webcam photo shoot.
Seen a few shit on the webcam.
Oh God, boys will do anything on a webcam.
Yeah. Hey, so tell us about this.
Booty by Jacks.
Yeah.
I always had big glutes. I didn't even train them properly.
What's the story behind this though?
Oh, the story behind this. The only reason this photo was actually taken, and the only reason I was naked in the water, is I was in Mexico and I caught up with this guy and he knew me online and he goes, I'll show you around or whatever. And he was a really nice guy. He was funny as. And we went to this like off the fucking beaten track, like random place where like there was no toilets. We walked for ages. And then we got to a point where I was like, I need to fucking shit. Like I need to shit so bad. And I was cramping and I was obviously on holiday. So I was eating a lot of food, Mexican food. And I was like, I need to go. And he's like, there's no toilets here. We're a 45-minute walk. Like we're a place where tourists don't come. And I'm like, I'm doing a shit in the water, eh? And I don't know if you can even see, but I think right behind my body there, like he was like, turn around. And he started taking photos of me. I don't know, that's fucked. But I was in crazy shape. But he started taking photos and ended up being like one of the most viral photos that I posted back in the day. Obviously got my ass out. But what people don't know is I just finished taking the what do you call it, aqua turd. Just finished taking the aqua turd. So that has a cool story. I love how like, it's good to save photos, even if they're cringy or even if they're weird like that, because most good photos have a good story, unless you just like taking iPhone photos in your room your whole life. But most good photos for me, my best photos are when I'm on an adventure doing something cool and usually half naked. This is
where you've been your biggest.
Yeah, that was me when I used to like bulk hard. So basically, if you know anything about like bodybuilding competition, especially back in the day, and they still do it now, is you would do like a 6 month, 8 months of just bulk. And when I say bulk, I'm talking 5 or 6 eggs, 3 or 4 pieces of toast, and that was just breakfast. I would have like a snack and then a huge lunch and then another 2 snacks, like 4 or 5 meals a day. 5,000. I was a hard gainer. It was hard for me to gain weight. So I just had to smash food all the time. And if you're listening to this and you're someone who's skinny, like I was a skinny body type, you got to push yourself to eat. And you're not going to put on that much body fat. Like I'm tensing obviously here and posing, but look how big my shoulders are bigger than my head. And I got this full grown out beard. I literally probably look younger now than then. And I was only 23 there or whatever.
Yeah. Like even in your face. That's crazy.
But yeah, I was the heaviest I've ever been. But I'd look good, but I'd walk up a set of stairs and I'd be tired and
your
I couldn't.
Joints and everything.
My joints were sore, and I was also training like super power bodybuilding and heavy and twice a day sometimes. And it's just not good for your body. Like it's hard to maintain that.
I remember this photo we took.
We'd go out with the camera, and I'd just get. I'm a bit of a camera tech guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm always researching, and I want to make sure we've got the best cameras for podcasts and the best audio, and then you'll notice that when I do my reaction videos, I probably have hands down, I have the best quality on Instagram when it comes to reaction videos and stuff, because I'm using crazy gear and I understand about like backgrounds and aperture and focus. But this was funny because we'd get Alicia's so photogenic. She's so much more photogenic than me. And I love taking photos of her on a camera, because we'd leave our iPhones or phones or whatever the fuck we had back then just at home. And there was a little basketball park near where we were renting a place, and we'd just take photos and have fun. And I really enjoyed that before we had like a big business and stressful life and everything. But I'd also capture some funny things that don't look so good. But
100%. And you're like, if you get this in the basket or whatever, what did you say? Can't remember what it was.
I'll do something for you. I'd give you money. I don't know, do something silly. But I was like,
and then you captured that. What's crazy is like,
oh shit,
what have they done? Got definition in the abs there.
Yeah, well, you're full stretched out.
Yeah.
You've got better shape now. Like, you've filled in your hip dips more with muscle, but
it's a funny photo.
It's a funny photo. Look at that. You.
I loved this.
Was that around the engagement?
Yeah. It was the day before, I think.
I had Bali belly.
Yeah, you kept getting
I always have Bali belly when I'm in Bali. Like, half the time I get shredded because I'm just fucking shitting myself and fucking going to the toilet all the time.
But we had that upstairs pool all to ourselves, and they were so much fun. They let us plug in our phones and
there was no one.
They were drinking
just
with
crazy
us.
Rooftop pool, and basically no one would use it. This is back when Bali was cool. Like, now it's just so many people from all over the world, which is all cool. But Bali back in the day was epic. You could go to places certain times of the year, and most hotels were not booked out, were not full. People didn't even use the pool areas in some areas. This is in Nusa Dua, which we went there again a few years later, and it was nowhere near as good, and we didn't like it at all. It was just so much different. But this was sick because I had like a really expensive, back then, I was saved up all my money to get my first like proper, really expensive camera. And I wanted to use it all the time, and we were taking photos above the water, and I was so scared I was going to drop it the whole time. And then the locals took photos of us.
It was so cool. Following that was engagement.
That was the next day?
Yep, I think so. So behind this, Jackson's like, research somewhere for us to go. So I found this waterfall place from that Jake and Marie Snow. I was like, I want to go here. And prior to this, I'd already tell the story like
you gave me a few ideas, and I believe I'd actually been to this waterfall a few years beforehand, and it was a place where you had to go heaps. Most waterfalls, I'm telling you right now, most waterfalls in Bali, and probably this one again, because we posted this a few years ago and it went really viral, but most waterfalls you can't get photos in front of anymore. And I don't want to be racist. There's nothing wrong with Asians, Chinese, whatever, but what I can tell you is most people from China or places that have really dense population, they are so rude. Like, usually you'd line up to take your photos when you're in, like, I haven't been to fucking the Greek islands. I have been to one Greek island, but you're in Greece or whatever, and there's this epic spot to get a photo. Usually you line up, you take turns, just like that place in Bali where it has like the dinosaur island and everyone takes photos down towards it. But for some reason, and I've asked a lot of people and they say that mostly it's Chinese or the dense Asian cities. They're just so rude. They'll walk in front of you or walk behind you while you're trying to take a photo. And I don't mean this is like a public shed area. I'm talking, hey, you can go next, get your cool photo. They're just so rude. But luckily, two things happened to make this work. One, the guy that was doing the photos and the videos for it, Alicia had no idea. And the reason why Alicia had no idea, and everyone keeps saying, how did she not know it was a surprise? Like, there's a guy with a video camera. Well, I was also the guy who had a big social media back in the day, taking photos, and I was filming everything. So it was perfect. She's so used to me just having a guy filming stuff because I was making YouTube videos and stuff that she just thought, yeah, we're going to get cool photos. And I had to hide this. That's why I'm wearing black jean shorts. I had to hide.
I was going to talk about the, sorry to butt in, but how you got sick twice prior to this, and the film
camera guy,
and plus the camera guy had to fly to Singapore to pick up a piece.
He needed a part for his stabilizer for the camera, and he had to fly from Bali to Singapore
to get it.
While he had Bali belly, he was like sweating. He'd be giving me videos and voice messages being like, hey, I'm just going to get it. And so I had to rebook the driver and the trip, but it was hectic. And even he had Bali belly the day that he was filming. He was like sweating, but he's the best. His name's Sam, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's the best. And if you somehow find this video, Sam, you're amazing. I fucking love you. You're such a legend. Like, to be able to capture these moments and the quality, it just happened to be at that time in the morning, the sun was on an angle where we had the perfect light and the waterfall looked amazing. Like, there's not much color editing here. It just looked incredible.
And no one was there.
And no one was there when we got there. And I just thought, fuck, I can't fuck this up. And I was nervous the whole trip. I'm carrying an engagement ring on the plane, and I wanted to keep it on me so I didn't get lost in the... I had to talk to my mum about it and plan it. And I was so nervous because Alicia waited years for me to engage, like to get, propose.
Yeah.
She waited ages for me to propose because I was like, I want to wait till it's like legit. I was so afraid of like, not commitment, but afraid of like getting married or getting engaged and then like it not being the same. Like, it was so good. I didn't want to, I don't know if people talk about this enough, but when your relationship is going amazing, obviously we're not perfect. We fucking argue. There's normal stuff, ups and downs, but everything was 99% good. And I was like, is it going to change when we get to certain levels of commitment? And I was afraid of that. But also, number one thing, I wanted to have a bit more of security and have a good job and be making decent money so I could buy a good ring, so I could plan a good wedding. But it all worked out, and I was just kind of probably afraid of commitment or whatever guys say. But what's amazing is we get down there, Alicia has no idea. I had a backpack on me. I wore the jean shorts so I could fit I pulled the ring case out of the backpack while she was like I got Sam to take photos of her in front of the waterfall. And then I quickly put it in my pocket, and I was at the bottom of this rock, and I was like, don't slip, don't fall. I get up there and I'm like saying to Alicia, like, oh, face the waterfall, we'll get some photos of your ass. And she's like, oh, I'm used to that. Like, we'll get some good, cool booty pics. So while she was facing it, I got the ring out, got on one knee. And then when she was turning around or when I was talking to her, I got down and did it. And it just happened to be that like two couples came over and looked at the waterfall as I was doing that.
Yeah.
And they were like clapping and cheering in the background.
It was so cool. We'll have to post that video again because we've got the full video, the full length one.
And honestly, that is the coolest moment. Our wedding was incredible, but that was surrounded by a lot of people and it was a lot going on and, me being completely sober, planning that out. I love surprises, like getting your car as well, but that was one of the best days of my life. It was really fucking amazing.
And I was so happy I was in good shape.
She kept saying, are you serious? It's not
Yeah, you can see me like mime it, like, are you serious? Oh my God.
Yeah, she thought that I might have been like pranking her or something. Like, no, I would never do that. Like,
yeah. So this was a little trip at Tangalooma Island with City Beach.
Yeah, we got this like kind of invited to do this cool thing with City Beach, and there was like Morgan Moroney, like Morgan Rose Moroney, who's like a big fitness influencer chick who's now with Steve Cook. She was there, and there was like, what's that blonde chick that does a lot of the modeling stuff? What's her name? Anyway, there was a heap of other influencers there.
That was cool because we did is this an ATV? What's this called?
Yeah, that's a huge ATV. The biggest ATV I've ever seen.
And then my favorite part at the end at night was the dolphin feeding.
Yeah.
That was really cool. They came up to us and we were able to like feed them.
I've got a GoPro video of that, and guess what I did the whole time? Drifting.
Of course.
And we got the big ATV because there was two of us. Oh, these are
I swear that's the same day.
Same day, yeah. Same jeans and hat and stuff. The bad boy hat backwards with the cross. I was in crazy shape though.
Yeah.
You cannot deny that. And the amount of hard work and sacrifice, and I became a no man. And what I mean by that is I said no to doing cocaine and going out and drinking and events, said no to pizza and ice cream. I'm living with mates who we would smoke joints and hang out. Like, I would still smoke weed here and there because, as Arnie said, you can do both, you know what I mean? And also it worked for me. Like, me and my mates would smoke and we'd have a good time and it was fun and there was nothing unhealthy about it. Obviously not having fucking bongs all day or smoking a heap, like a small amount. But it was a cool way to hang out and chill and have fun on the weekend without going and drinking alcohol and stuff. But the amount of times I had to say no to things, and I'd meet people and I'd become friends with them and they'd say to me, man, we admire you so much because no matter how many times that we asked you to come do things that aren't aligned with your goal, that you would say no, and you would say no so consistently. And I was like, I've come second and I've come third in a bodybuilding competition and I haven't come second yet and I haven't come first yet. So I was like, someone else out there is going to beat me by saying no more often. I just became obsessed with it, and you've got to be. It's not sustainable long term, but it was a really cool experience. That was
on stage.
That was me on stage, yeah.
WBFF?
Yeah, Gold Coast, like second or third comp.
That's a cool photo. I love that pose.
That's like the Frank Zane pose.
Yeah.
I did a lot of stomach vacuum training and like...
It's cool.
That, I was doing classic poses before classic bodybuilding was a category in IFBB. I really liked it. I loved doing the classic posing and stomach vacuum, and that was one of my favorite photos and did really well. I think I came third or something in that comp, which was really cool.
Oh, so
Noosa?
We were in Noosa here, and I reckon for sure this is the thickest I've ever been.
You reckon? I loved you like that. I'm pretty sure. Comment if you think Alicia, obviously this is a good angle and a good pose, but Alicia was not happy about getting photos with me, and every time I showed her the photo on the camera, because we'd have a tripod set up as you do as a couple. This was like for an anniversary or a birthday.
Yeah, and I think you had the blonde hair.
Yeah, I had the blonde going through the hair.
On the top.
Going through a quarter-life crisis or something.
Yep.
But every time I'd show Alicia photos of herself on the camera, she'd be like, oh my God, I look fat, I look fat, I look fat. So please comment if you think Alicia looks fucking amazing there. And I think girls these days don't want to be skinny. I know you've like, because you were skinny when you were younger, you're always going to compare yourself to your 18-year-old self, but you're not your 18-year-old self anymore. You're never going to be that girl.
Yeah.
You're a woman now and you have shape. Of course, you can be healthier and get fitter and have visible abs, but you're never going to have tiny little hot dog legs like those girls in fucking Mykonos and shit. And I just think, comment if you think Alicia looks fucking amazing here, because these are some of my favorite photos and she didn't like me posting them. And I'm like, you look fucking good. Here we go. That was another competition.
What competition was that?
That was WBFF as well, which is a different name now, but that was stacked. Like, that was surprisingly really stacked category. The fitness category, there was guys that were shredded. Like, I met some really cool guys there. Like, pretty sure Tommy Newell and a few other, I can't remember some of the other guys, but I met a heap of guys at that comp, and we're all like, it was a bit, everyone's nervous, like, everyone's got the mindset of like, oh, we're versing each other, but end of the day, it's not like a combat sport. We're not physically versing each other. It's just like whoever the judges feel have the best physique, have the best, symmetry and do the best posing will get a winner. And sometimes it's a bit political, but either way, like, we ended up just by halfway through the day, everyone chilled out and we're just having the fucking rice cakes with Nutella on it. People have no idea that before you do a bodybuilding competition or before you get really shredded and do a photo shoot, you completely restrict your calories and go lower in calories and don't have any bad food, any sweets or whatever. But the day of your competition, you should see how many calories. There is Nutella and rice cakes and honey and alcohol. Like, everyone's just got their own version of what's going to help them get veins pumped and everything tight and pulled in. And my advice is, like, you can't ruin your physique in like one day unless you have gut health issues and you get like bloated, which is not going to happen usually. So,
and I'll never forget, I don't think I came to this one, but your very first competition, that one was pretty hectic. Like, I witnessed a girl pass out on stage.
And a guy was all over the place too.
And they were like really puffing because of all the lights as well. They're all sweating. And I remember coming backstage, like trying to patch up your tan, patch up your tan. And the vibe behind there is just crazy.
See, that was a different federation. That was like bodybuilding. I was wearing the tiny little G-string thing. Yeah. I wish I had a photo. We'll do it on the next potty, but...
Welcome to the jungle was your...
Yeah, welcome to the jungle. And I'm like, I'm doing the posing and stuff. See, WBFF was more my vibe. It was more aesthetic.
Yeah,
more
it wasn't...
It was pretty similar. Like, some dudes get jacked or whatever. But this category, which was fitness, WBFF, it allowed, you have to wear a suit for one of your rounds, so you got to look good. You got to have good skin. Your face has got to look good. You can't have like acne and be all like overly steroided everywhere, even though everyone's on shit. But what I'm saying is you got to look good, which I think is nice, because people think having a lot of muscle looks good, but it's like, it only looks good to a certain extent. If you just look like a balloon and your face is all bloated and you got acne and your like stomach's all distended out, it's like, it doesn't look nice at all. And things are changing these days.
Oh.
That was at the Gold Coast?
Yep. I
love that photo.
We are so young there.
Little babies.
Remember the necklace? That was all.
How tan was I there, brother?
I know.
No wonder you wanted to get really dark when we started traveling, because I was probably so tanned.
Yep. I love that.
Oh,
photo.
the belt! Look at that.
You loved that belt.
I'd have the belt showing.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure these jeans, we went to Harbour Town for those.
Yeah, that was.
Because I loved those.
Those are the ones that had the rip in them that I was obsessed with.
Yes. That's where you lived at Markula.
Yeah, I moved away from the country town. This is a good thing to segue to. Alicia and I were hanging out, started dating in this small country town in Queensland, and then I eventually moved to the Sunshine Coast, which is just an hour away, which seemed like a big deal when you're dating. And Alicia was like saying to me, I know you're going to meet some like... She was never super confident about herself, but I was like, I'm batting above my average. Like, she's way better than me, but she would be like, I know you're going to meet some coast girl, some blonde coast girl or whatever, and you know, you're going to fall in love. And I was like, well, we're only an hour away. How about we just make it work? Like, I'm here to try to... This is when I first started becoming a personal trainer, pursuing a career, because Alicia motivated me to get a real... Instead of selling drugs and doing shit jobs, working on farms and all this other crap, I was like, I'm going to get a real career. I'm passionate about health and fitness and helping people. So we spent... This is how dedicated we were. For about a year and a half or something, or a year or something.
Yep.
Every weekend, I would leave the coast, not going out, not doing fun shit. Well, I wanted to drive to Alicia's place, and while she was living with her parents, and I would spend the whole weekend with her. And then every week, in the middle of the week, like Tuesday, Wednesday, you would drive and spend the night with me on the coast. So we were driving like that 2 hours, which seems like nothing when you think of people who drive to Brisbane for work and stuff. But it was a big commitment. We made it work, and we barely ever missed any of our weekends and weeks together. We made it work. And I think it made us stronger, because when you're driving an hour to go see somewhere, it's like the David Beckham thing from the documentary. David Beckham would drive like 4 hours across like Spain to London or some crazy long distance to see Victoria.
For like an hour.
Just to see her for an hour.
Yeah.
Probably smash her up in the back of the Mercedes or something. But what I'm saying is that's like dedication and love. And I read this meme that was like, we just want someone who's like Beckham, that level of commitment.
Yeah.
So we did that for each other, which was really cool. And I think, you know, that's a cool, random, just young love. It's fucking beautiful if it works. Before there was like dating apps where everyone's like, the grass is always greener.
Yeah. That's the same sort of thing. Like, you lived on the beach there, so like we would just walk down and yeah.
I always wanted to live close to the ocean. I didn't surf yet, I didn't know how to surf, but I always knew that my life would be, I just focused on working hard and being close to the beach, and so I can see you in a bikini more often.
Yeah.
Oh my God, look at my chest there, no tattoos.
Nothing.
And my chest is just flat, I got no muscle.
Littlest bit of hair.
A little bit of mustache.
I loved these sunnies, they were all in.
Yeah.
Like the full neon.
All right, let's smash through them. That's us drunk, me pulling weird faces again. I love that outfit you had on.
That was Sandra's birthday.
Yeah, it was like
she had the sailor theme.
The sailor outfit.
Yep.
That was such a good night. I snuck this photo in. I knew you'd be embarrassed, but this is a good photo. This is us in one of our Bali trips. I balled out and got like a decent 2-story villa, and the top was like an open rooftop, so we could like tan and hang out there. And this is like the naughtiest photos Alicia would let me take, which is good. Like, it's funny, but she was always like, don't post it.
I don't know what it was about that day. I was just like,
you felt confident.
Let's just get some pics.
Yeah, it was cool.
That was fun. We would do the whitewater rafting in Bali, and not many people like to do it, but I don't know what it is. Every time, for some reason, when I'm in really like uncomfortable places, I start laughing.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so funny.
Instead of crying, you laugh to cover up your fear.
I just thought it was so funny. Everyone's like, paddle, paddle. And I'm sitting there laughing. They're like, Jack's like, help, help. And then there's like tourists in front of us screaming, and I'm laughing at them because they're screaming.
It was like a movie. We got down there. You got to walk all the way down to the bottom of this thing. The water's smashing it. It was like after wet season, so the whitewater rafting was epic. There's rocks coming up, like it's legit. And as we got down there, it was like a movie. A lady, like a mum, fell out of her raft in front of us, and all the people that were tourists with us were like, "Is this safe? Is this safe?" And I'm laughing. I was like, "Yeah."
Remember the guy's putting a Borat accent on?
Oh.
He's like, Borat, yes.
That was Bali, right?
Yeah.
The Balinese and the Thai people are absolutely fucking incredible. Like, they are so fun. they're always laughing and always having a good time, especially before their areas get overpopulated and the Russians come in and treat them like shit, like recently we went to Phuket. But they're just happy people. They call it the land of smiles, whatever, Thailand. And Balinese is the same. They just have a good time. They want you to have a good time. They mostly like everybody, like love Aussies. And that guy was doing a Borat voice the whole kayak trip, and I loved it.
Do you remember that part where all of a sudden it just went like that?
Yeah, it was like a little mini...
He's like, okay, everyone lean back. And we're like, what the fuck? And it just goes...
Oh man, we've had some good times, eh?
That was fun. This is... Oh,
I love that.
I love this photo.
So the reason I put this in here is, one, it's one of the craziest photos ever, and I fucking love it. But
Yep.
two, we posted this a while ago on Instagram and it went a bit viral, and we had people arguing in the comments saying, you shouldn't be sitting on elephants. I can't believe you're at a zoo. It's like, well, this wasn't a zoo. This was actually a rescue center, and this elephant is called Luxip. And the guy that got Luxip as a baby was from a poacher.
Yeah.
So they saved this baby elephant that was going to be taken to like a bad zoo or whatever. Because we've been to a few bad zoos in Thailand where we left where we're like, nah, like it's not, they're not looking after him properly. But this was different. The rescue place was so good that Steve Irwin, back in the day when he was still alive, rest in peace, Steve Irwin, he actually recommended this place. And there's photos of him walking around. They have this crazy, massive
sanctuary.
Open pool thing. Like, think about the biggest pool ever with like just a short sides, and the elephants go in there and they fill up with water, and the elephants shoot water and play around.
Yep.
This particular elephant, it has a free roaming area, but it stays right next to its owner, and he was a Balinese guy, and he took us down to this jungle area. This is not a zoo. This is not, no one's lining up. Like, this is us privately with Luxep, and I paid good money and we fed him the whole time, and it was crazy. Like, it was such an awesome experience, and Luxep was not in pain. He loved every moment of it. He was shitting out the back, eating a heap of fucking food that we were giving him, and it doesn't hurt him to sit on him, especially because we're not sitting on a cage, like those metal cages people have in Thailand.
None of that on him.
Like, bareback is actually more comfortable because it's just the weight of, you know, one human, and it's not heavy. And
to get on him was like...
scary.
It was scary.
Did he kneel down with one of his legs and he let you climb up him?
He only liked you to be on his right side.
I don't know. Yeah, I remember that.
So I remember they're like, oh, just keep on the right side. But he was so beautiful, and I'll never forget that morning when we were there. I had to use the toilets, I had Bali belly that morning, which actually worked out really well because I came out quite lean.
The photographer, I can't remember his name, but that was the craziest photographer. He taught me how to underexpose photos. He taught me a lot about photography.
So good. The greens are like insane.
That was one of my favorite memories. Oh, the start of our house build.
Yeah.
It's funny, we go from like young travel Bali to like serious shit, but this was exciting. You know, we worked our ass off, no handouts from our parents. You know, both grew up with not a lot, and then like to build this house was one of the most, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. It's like, it was the most stressful point of my life. Like, at the moment it's pretty stressful with like a lot of clients, but that we were paying to rent a house, and I was paying a loan to build a house that we hadn't moved into yet. And that was when we were going through COVID. There was low stock. We had to keep changing things. Every time I got a variation, it cost us through the roof.
Yeah.
But it worked out well. And this is the house that you see on our Instagram stories and stuff with the sauna in the back, and we've come a long way.
It's our little sanctuary. We love it.
I loved before we go to the next one, I loved every time that there was updates in the house and I would take you there.
Yeah.
And I loved the day that you thought we were going there to have a look at what the house is close to finished, and I actually tricked you and I gave you the keys and filmed it and said we got the house today.
And we started moving some shit.
Moved in with no blinds, just light coming through.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it, the tiger?
You were Joe Exotic.
I dressed up as Joe Exotic.
And I was Dorothy.
And
I love that. And we used Taylor's dog.
That's not Honey. We didn't have Honey yet. So
that was Toto.
That's Mally, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I used... Because
I
had this fake little Toto in my bag.
Well, I thought it was like similar, but it was like, that's my tiger.
I loved it. You even committed to the cutting the
mustache.
What are they called? Handlebars?
The handlebars. Oh, God.
And the party shirt.
We've had some fucking fun gatherings at our friend's house.
We'll have to do another one of those.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
I love dress up. I've got the Woodstock in my hand. This was after my bicep. So not so positive moment, but I believe that every great story goes through ups and downs. And if anyone's just always celebrating the wins and not learning from the losses or the lows, then you're never going to be really happy, because you're always thinking that everything's going to go good and that you think that life's about just getting better and better. But life's about going through challenges and going through really hard times and getting through them and being okay with not being in your best shape or being okay with not being in the best spot mentally. So when I tore my bicep, I tore the bicep off the bone, completely off the bone. And it also coincided with me being quite stressed. Right after we moved into the house, going through all that stress, I wasn't drinking enough water, I wasn't eating enough food, I wasn't getting enough sleep. It was very overwhelming, and my body said, I was training really hard still, so I've learned a lot. And this is what I teach a lot of my clients. Like, if you train really hard, but you're not eating good, nutritious food, and then you're not sleeping enough, you're going to get injured eventually. Yeah. So I tore the bicep tendon or ligament or whatever directly off the bone in the forearm. Like, the bicep was up here, the tendon was found up here. Had to get surgery, pay for it out of my own money, was in a sling. And right here in this photo, I'm coming down off all the opioids. Yeah. Because it was the most painful thing to try to recover from that. Like, while I was asleep at night, as soon as the opioid would wear off, you'd feel this deep bone and tendon pain. And like, so yeah, I eventually got off them, and it made me realize I was only on them for about 7 days. Yeah. And opioids are absolutely addictive, and they shouldn't be giving them out so easy, and they should be giving more education about them, because I would dream about getting up and taking them.
Yeah, it was like that, what was that doco called?
Yeah, what was that doco called with the...
Oxycodone?
Oxycodone.
Yeah, Oxycodone. I think they've changed
Something like that, yeah.
I love this photo. So again, we did this one, but this one was like at your mum's house.
Getting ready for another bodybuilding competition.
Yeah, carrying all your meals.
Gymshark athlete.
I loved this dress. Loved it.
It's crazy. So what's the time difference between this? Like years, maybe 4 years or something?
Yeah.
And just we're becoming adults here. Like, yeah, teenagers getting drunk, having fun, and then adults with like doing stuff. I really love that. I love going through all this. And that's probably another jump, like another 2 or 3 years later. Yep. For some reason, I love how much, like I love getting photos with you when you've been in the ocean. It's very natural. It's not so posed. Yeah. And I just love, you're not like you're in really good shape, but you're not like crazy lean like the engagement. Yep. But I really love the way you look there. And I don't think all girls need to have visible abs or be lean to look beautiful. Like, I really think your shape there looked really good, and it was very couple goals, except for, I didn't like that there was a bridge behind us, but I'll get over that. Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. This one on the right was with Sundays.
Airlie Beach.
Airlie Beach.
We're at Airlie Beach with Sundays.
We're staying at that Pinnacles place, and it was so nice. It was like we had the hot tub.
I loved that. That was an anniversary or birthday as well.
It was an anniversary, yeah.
I love just I miss doing that. Like, I know that we're not older, but we're in a position where we're very busy now with the business. Like, we weren't making as much money back then, so we'd save up money and we'd do our trips, but we were, just still having fun and taking photos and using the tripod. And Alicia kind of fell out of wanting to do that because she felt like she was getting older, or you didn't really want to be on photos and stuff anymore. But now that Booty by Jax has grown so much, we have such a huge female community and following, and now you're really, because you're seeing some of the DMs and you're on the Instagram for the Booty by Jax, people are starting to follow your page as well. You realize that people want to see you doing hot girl shit. Like, it doesn't matter that you're 31, doesn't matter that like you're not in the same shape you were at 24 or 25. Like, people just want to see us doing cool, fun couple things again. And I can't wait to do more of that. I just got to talk you into, like, I don't know, going somewhere.
Yeah. What? That was
Thailand
Krabi?
somewhere? Krabi, yeah.
No, Koh Phi Phi.
Yeah, but Krabi. We went from Krabi, we took a boat. That was a cool trip.
So that was like when we were traveling. So that wasn't that long ago.
I loved that. That was a cool trip.
A year or two?
Just after they legalized cannabis in Thailand. So like every hour, I'd go past the cannabis cafes. I'm like, yeah, get me a joint. I love it. Sick vibe, which is so
then
weird.
We'd go get snacks.
Too many snacks from the 7-Eleven. What would the door thing say every time you walked in?
Oh, hello, welcome.
Hello, welcome.
And we used to crack up, and all the locals would look at us. We're like,
It's because we've been here a lot. And then one of the places we went to, the hello, welcome was broken. So it kept saying, hello, welcome, over and over again. And I said, they don't really speak much English, like even at the 7-Elevens and stuff in Thailand.
Something mart.
the marts or whatever. So I'd say to the guy at the front counter, "Are you been working here for 4 hours and this has just been going off the whole time?" And he's like,
Yep.
and I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Oh, this is when we first got Honey. We got a little cute beware of the dog sign.
We're becoming those people that are going to take hundreds of photos of our babies, like
Yeah,
our kids.
that's my gallery. It's mostly dog now.
Yeah, ever since we got Honey, Alicia's probably put more. And it's true. Like I must, when you have kids, you put more effort into your kids, and you don't put as much effort into your like health, and you don't put yourself first as much, which is understandable. So I think the last year and a half, you've been more focused on like looking after Honey, and not so much focused on wanting to go on trips and get photos. And I get it, but now we can do that with Honey.
Yeah,
Oh, I love that.
that's another photo. I can't remember what we were doing or where we were going there.
One of the first times I got like a proper high fade. Got the UK fuckboy haircut.
Another cross necklace. I love it.
Look at your booty there. You're growing it there.
Yeah, she getting thick. Oh,
I love
our
that.
wedding. That was a fun day.
That was epic. I wish I could relive that. That's one thing. Anyone who hasn't got married yet, who's getting married soon, just slow down on your wedding day and like enjoy every moment, which I tried to, but I felt like I was trying to liaison with the manager and trying to get a drink or trying to make sure I connected with everyone, and it was a bit overwhelming at times. But when we were getting those photos, we could just, because it was just us and our best friends, and it was really fun.
It was really fun.
Here we go.
I love this. So I've got literally a paintbrush and I'm dipping the tan in on his bodybuilding comp and just painting him.
That was my first bodybuilding competition.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'd never washed the, because we thought you just keep
Well,
loading the tan up.
Back in the day, you just do layers and layers of tan, and you end up sleeping in this. You bring a spare sheet to the hotel before, and we're doing this in some fucking weird
and
room.
you could only see your teeth. I remember we went out for dinner and you're like, and everyone's like, what
Yeah, I
the
looked
fuck
so
is going
weird.
on? You see eyes and teeth.
I look
That's
like
it.
the guy that does blackface or blueface off Tropic Thunder, where I was
Yeah.
like trying to paint myself as an African man.
Anyway, that was the look. And that was what you had to do for the bodybuilding. So that was funny.
Here we go. I love this. 16 at high school with the collar up, thinking I
Yeah.
was like with the old fucking Speed Sunnies and shit.
Yeah.
Look at that hair.
I love it.
I hadn't really met Alicia properly then. I used to yell out and call you jailbait at school, but you didn't really know who I was.
No, I just knew you as the popular guy.
I don't know how I was popular. I was so fucking ugly, but I suppose I was good at... I made people laugh, but also... I don't know, I got lucky, but I think I was a good friend with people and I had a good group of mates and I threw good parties and I think that helps a lot. And I suppose I just fake it till I make it. Like I definitely was skinny, fucking most average dude, but I suppose I just had a good time and I didn't take school too serious.
No. Oh my
Here we go.
gosh.
How old are you there?
I had my nose piercing. So this is when I lived with my best friend, so me and Christy. And what is that? Does
So
she have
explain this. You moved away from your parents' house to live with your best friend when she moved to a different place that was like 8 hours away.
Yeah.
When you were like 15.
Yeah. So I was like, that's it, Mum. Like, please. I had to beg her.
Of course you had to beg her. She would have been heartbroken.
She was. Yeah, but that was a really cool memory. We went to school together, lived together, went to parties together. But in the end, it became pretty toxic because we just fell into like partying and smoking and...
It's like that movie with...
13.
Yeah, 13 or
Yeah,
whatever.
we got our nose pierced. We would pierce our own noses.
Except that movie went pretty hectic.
We would pierce our own lips. Like, it got pretty crazy. But that was a cool memory. And I got purple brown hair.
Finding
I loved
your
that.
young sexual self.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Alicia back then.
Oh my gosh, did you add this in? I love this.
No, I think you
love
added this in actually.
I love this. What were you called? LBE.
I had like a gang when I was like 15, 16.
And we
But the
used to-
difference is, you'd be surprised. I look like a dweeb here, but all of us did boxing here. And my friend on the other side here, Anthony, he was like Golden Gloves boxer, and I'd have to spar him all the time. He'd give me a blood nose all the time, and we were all like pretty fit. So I always thought that I forgot what this guy's name is. I can't remember if I forgot. He was the best. We'd always laugh together, but he had the craziest physique, and that's when I found out about genetics, like African style. Like the dude just had crazy physique. He trained, but
Did he start with A, like Arnold or?
I can't remember. But anyway, if we zoom in on this photo, I always had abs. Like
Yeah.
there's a photo of me hanging on a clothesline when I was probably like I don't know, a little kid, and I had like six pack. So like I always had abs, but I was trying to build muscle and shit. So we'd do boxing at this shed thing, and then we'd do weights like just bench press and arms. I didn't train. Look at my calves and my ankles.
And look at how long your shorts were.
That's my boxing shorts.
Oh my God, I love it.
I was pretty
love
fit
it.
there. I'd be doing like 5 to 8K runs, 20 minutes skipping, 4 or 5 rounds, sparring, 4 or 5 rounds in the bag. Like I was probably more fit long distance than I am now there, but God, the hair, the posing.
I love it. Another
Parties.
one. Oh my gosh.
Drunk with my mate Will at parties. It was all about having good mates, getting drunk, only like 15, 16, and just having a good time. And I think people stood out. That's why we had neighbours back in the day, and they were like always drinking and fucking making loud noises and shit. And I was so angry. At least you couldn't sleep for ages. And I kept reminding myself,
We've done that.
we've done that, but these guys were like 18, 19, 20. At least I was 16 when I was doing it.
I'm trying to think who you look like there. I think you look like the guy, All American Rejects guy.
I don't
The
know who
lead
that
singer
is.
of that. Oh,
Oh,
I've done
Double
that
Up.
one. Hey,
So this
is that-
is-
that's your first car?
Yeah, this just shows. Actually, that's my second car because I crashed my first car. That just shows how poor I was. And I love this. I had a Toyota Corolla back before Toyotas were cool. And it was like a 1992 or 82. It was a manual, and the gearbox crunched. And it had cap-on wheels that I spray painted. They're actually steel wheels. And I fitted its like a cooler steering wheel to it, and I spray painted my little gang sign on the side, which was very embarrassing.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm wearing the same singlet.
Oh yeah, you are too. You are too.
See, if anyone ever says, because people always ask me why I wear these singlets, I don't know. I just like it's comfortable, it suits my body shape. I have 10 pairs of them, black, brown, green, whatever. But I've been wearing them since I was 16, 17.
Love it. So this is the photo,
This is the
we
photo
were
shoot from
talking
the
about.
start.
The photo shoot. Oh my God.
With the dark in the background.
I love it. And look, we're matching. We both got red.
Got the Calvin Klein's on,
Calvin
sticking out.
Klein. I love it.
My face is so skinny there. My whole face structure looks different.
And you've always had good lips though too.
We both have the lips.
Oh,
That's when
the
I've-
stringer singlet.
Yeah, the stringer singlet. I was listening to Ziz every day. I'd watch Ziz motivational mix, and I'd go in and just train arms, shoulders, and chest. Just arms, shoulders, and chest every day. I'd be sniffing Jack 3D and taking Jack 3D. I'm talking. I was fucking
Far out.
going all in. I was only like 17 there. I hadn't turned 18 yet. And I had the footy shorts on.
Those bloody stubby short.
I'll
things.
never wear a stringer singlet again. It's just too much. I don't like it, eh? Little
That's a good little before and after.
the Nixon,
Yeah.
the pink underwear.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually think that you always wanted me to have this hair.
Yeah.
And I had it before we were dating kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like even here, I actually have six pack.
Yeah.
And I did boxing, hundreds of sit-ups, running and everything, so I did it, but you just see where it takes your physique when you
It's
train.
weird to see you without tattoos
I know.
because I've never seen you without.
Yeah, when we met, I already had the like a tribal tattoo.
Yeah.
There we
Oh my
go.
God. Another photo shoot.
I found this on the hard drive and I was like, I have to put
I
this
would
on.
always wake up with bruises. Hey, pretty sure this photo
You're
shoot.
anemic from not eating meat.
Yeah, I was pretty white. This photo shoot the night before I went out, and I had to get it together. And I remember saying to my mum, "I don't want to do it." She's like, "You're doing it," and she'll
I love
take me.
the boots,
This is at the Siebel.
the tiny little short jean shorts that your mum's cut off for you
She
to make
cut
even
them
smaller.
off, and guess what? Your mum does the cut off ones too.
Yeah, and the burlesque.
Look.
What is it called? It's like a tight thing that you.
Corset.
Corset. That's the one, and the hair. And the gloves. Look
Yeah.
at the gloves.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
cool.
I love it.
Oh,
Again, this is one of my favorite photos of all time with Luxip.
Yeah.
And it's pretty crazy to think that this elephant at any time could actually just fucking kill me with his tusks.
Yeah.
And instead, he doesn't because he's a nice elephant and we're treating them well. I love this. I put this video in just to show that even after Alicia training for like a year, it takes a long time to build muscle if you come from a skinny body type. And she wasn't like crazy obsessed like young girls these days. You can get results a lot quicker, but it just shows you here.
2018.
Just shows you here that Alicia didn't always have big glutes and curves and stuff. Like she worked hard for that, ate a lot of calories. Yeah, I was in the paper. They didn't even ask me about it. I just seen the paper and they're like, how Jackson Johnson turned his fitness transformation into social media empire. And I really like that photo. I didn't mind that. But then if you go on the magazine, which I don't have, they got a photo of me with DTs on, and they were like, I don't trust media in the paper. Every time I've done radio or newspaper or media, they've always tried to make it viral by putting photos, even that Facebook post about personal trainers on the Sunshine Coast, and they used one with me with shaved head with my brows slit.
Oh, yeah.
The bad boy photo. It was funny as, but it was a pretty proud moment coming from like a country town.
We've done that one.
I love that. That's just like a different angle of the first photo.
The photo shoot.
Where
funny.
I look alright from the front there because you can't see I've got no chin and my jaw wasn't developed.
That just proves right there like how I used to wear 3 bras.
Oh.
To try and
get
things going.
Yeah. I didn't care though. I didn't care at all.
Oh, I love that photo too. Again.
That was when my tattoo was half getting covered up.
At your mum's.
And I've got another cross there somewhere.
VTEC.
You had the prelude.
Honda.
I've had some shit cars. I might have a cool car now, but I had some shit cars beforehand. This is one that I wanted to show, and I think Alicia chucked us on there. I was so fucking skinny, you have no idea. And this was my first girlfriend back in high school. We were together for like 3 years. I've always had like long-term relationships, and when I'm single, it's not healthy because I fucking go off the rails. I wouldn't do that now, but here I'm like about 55 kilos, eh?
Really?
Grade 10, long jeans. They're actually shorts. They're shorts. And guess what? I got the singlet on as well.
Oh my goodness.
Wearing the cool sunnies.
That's the same one.
We've done that one.
This is one of the
first.
Did you add this one in?
Yeah. One of the first times we got drunk together.
I did the editing on this one.
Make it all nice. I didn't even know that. It's funny as.
Same one.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness. I loved my hair. So, zoom it in. Look at the fake lash, not cut off properly. So these were extensions, and then I actually paid to get these extensions done, and I was obsessed. And I had like the necklace, loved my belly ring. The
belly button piercing was everything.
Yep, loved my bikini, put the fake nails on. And then down here, I would go to the jewelry store and get an anklet.
I'm sure there's so many 90s girls that can relate to this right now, the posing and shit.
Absolutely loved it.
You've always been photogenic, even with like this is cringe, Nelly, because of how old it is, but you've always been a natural at that stuff.
Pretty sure that's point cut, right?
That could be.
Yeah.
I put this one in.
Oh my God.
I said, babe, let's
filler shoes.
Let's get a photo of you with the scooter helmet on. You look really good. But you did look good. It's just hilarious, like us cruising through Bali. Here we go. How old were you here? I haven't seen this one.
I did my own hair there too.
How old were you here?
Again, I would have been just coming back from Rockhampton.
So like
16.
15 or 16?
Yeah, 16.
Coming to Little Woman. And
the
then
wedding.
One of the greatest days of my life. I love that photo because your father in the background and then a heap of our friends. That was really special. And I fucking cried real bad doing my vows.
Vows, yeah.
And luckily the guy, the celebrant or whatever, is that what you call him?
Celebrant.
Celebrant.
Yeah.
He was
so funny.
He was a good mate of mine who's a really good celebrant. He'd cracking jokes. And he saved me because I choked up and I couldn't get the rest of the vows out. I get emotional just thinking about it now. And he made like a funny joke to get me back into it.
He goes, it's not that serious.
Yeah, he goes, it's not that serious. He's like, commitment issues, blah, blah, blah.
And then that's it.
All done.
They were cool.
That was epic. I better finish. Let me just turn this off real quickly. Oh, I think that worked. So yeah, if you enjoyed that, let us know. Bit of planning, like trying to get all these images together. I chose some of Alicia's photos. Alicia chose some of mine. And I just thought, I do the reaction videos on Instagram and TikTok and they go really viral. And as you guys have been following us through this journey for a while, and you know, coming up to like, what is it, episode 4 or 5 on the podcast, and it's like
6, I think.
I wanted to do something that you could get a bit of a throwback into what we were like when we were younger. We didn't always look like that. We didn't always have a fancy fucking studio and all this high quality stuff. Like, we're just like, if you're younger now or you can relate to what we've been through, you know, we're just like you guys. It's just that we just happen to have a coaching business now, and you know, we've since the last podcast, we've hit 1 million on TikTok.
Yeah.
And we used to only have like 20 or 30,000 on Instagram. Now we're about to hit 400,000 on Instagram. We'll probably hit 400,000 by the time this is out. And it's completely changed our lives. Like, it's insane. And it's just, I always thought I don't want to work with my wife or Alicia or my girlfriend or whatever, because it could ruin our connection. But it depends what job it is. And obviously it's hard working from home and working all day together and then trying to be romantic after that. Like, it has its challenges. But I'm just so happy that I can pour my heart and soul into a business beside like my best friend, my soulmate. I actually did a post on Instagram, it'll be up right now, about our 13-year anniversary. I did a little post. So you can see that when you jump off. So this month is our 13th year anniversary. So I thought this podcast was like a celebration of like our life, some of our memories, some of the old stuff. So yeah, I love you.
Oh, I love you.
All right.
My husband.
Oh, let's wrap it up. If you got this far, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. See you later.